Your life as every level of a BlackRock-style shadow government. Level 1. The envelope. The envelope arrives on a Tuesday, no return address, your name typed, not handwritten. Inside, a single index card with a phone number and 2 words, be available. You don't know who sent it. You have a theory, but theories are things you keep to yourself now. You've been working at Mercer Capital for 11 months, a mid-sized asset management firm in the financial district that manages more money than you'll ever fully understand. You handle compliance documentation. You verify that numbers match. You are a function, not a person. But someone noticed you. You call the number that night from a payphone 2 blocks from your apartment. Old habit from a previous life you don't talk about. The voice on the other end is calm, male, American, says your name once, confirms your employment, and asks a single question. Do you understand discretion? You say yes. He says someone will meet you Thursday at 7 a.m. at a coffee shop on 48th Street. He names the table, the one near the back left wall facing the door. He hangs up. You don't sleep that night, not from fear, from hunger. Thursday morning, a woman in her 50s sits across from you, gray blazer, no jewelry. She slides a folder across the table and watches your eyes as you open it. Inside are 3 pages. The first is a non-disclosure agreement. The second is a list of responsibilities. The third is a number, $145,000, annual base, wired to an account they will open for you. More than double your current salary. She tells you nothing about who she works for. She tells you where to be on Monday morning, what floor, what time. She tells you to give notice at your current job today and cite personal reasons. She picks up her coffee. She says, "Welcome." She doesn't tell you welcome to what. You sign. Level 2. The function. The office doesn't look like power. That's the first thing you learn. Power doesn't announce itself. It operates from the 13th floor of a glass building with a generic consulting firm name on the door, Ashford Advisory Group, and a lobby that looks intentionally forgettable. The receptionist knows your name before you say it. She gives you a badge, a laptop, and points you toward a conference room where 3 other new hires are waiting. You don't exchange contact information with them. That's not explicitly forbidden, but no one does it. Your job at first is data, specifically the movement of data between entities that legally should not be communicating. You don't know that yet. What you know is that you spend 10 hours a day cross-referencing fund movements, flagging anomalies, then unflagging anomalies you're told to unflag. A man named Reeves supervises you. He is 38, careful with language, and explains exactly enough. When you ask about the purpose of a particular transaction, $12 million moved from a Cayman-registered LLC into a municipal infrastructure fund in Ohio, he pauses, looks at you, and says, "Your job is the data, not the narrative." You nod. You learn not to ask about the narrative. You stay late. You arrive early. You make no errors. After 6 weeks, Reeves invites you to lunch alone. This is a promotion, not in title, but in proximity. He tells you something over a $40 plate of pasta that you will turn over in your mind for years. This organization tracks the flow of influence the way weather services track pressure systems. We don't create the storms, we read them, and sometimes we adjust the pressure. You ask what organization. He smiles. Ashford. You understand then that Ashford is a word that means nothing and everything. You are moved to a new desk, new clearance level, new folder permissions on the shared drive. Your salary increases by $22,000 with no paperwork, no HR conversation. It just changes. Level 3, the trusted. At level 3, you are given a name, not a fake name, a function name. The organization doesn't use titles in the traditional sense. People are referred to by their domain. You are called compliance. It is both description and identity. When someone needs something verified, sanitized, or strategically overlooked, they come to compliance. That's you. You attend your first full briefing on a Thursday evening in a windowless conference room. 11 people. 2 of them you recognize from news photographs. a former undersecretary of state, a managing director at a bank whose name appears on buildings. They don't introduce themselves, neither do you. The presentation is about regulatory exposure in 3 Southeast Asian markets. It sounds like a strategy meeting. It is in fact a conversation about which government officials have been successfully retained and which have become problems. You understand this not from what's said, but from what isn't. After the meeting, a woman you've never seen before falls in. Level 7, the broker. The calls come at any hour, not from Ashford, from outside. From people who are not officially connected to Ashford but who know that certain problems can be solved through certain channels and that you are one of the people who understands those channels completely. A sovereign wealth fund manager in the Gulf needs to understand the political exposure of a U.S. infrastructure acquisition. A European central bank deputy needs someone to map the downstream effects of a Fed policy shift before it becomes public. A private equity firm needs to understand why one of their portfolio companies is experiencing unexpected regulatory friction and whether that friction can be reduced. You provide understanding, you provide access, you provide architecture. Your compensation is no longer salary, it is participation. Carry points in funds, real estate positions in 3 countries, an arrangement with a private bank in Zurich whose existence is known to fewer than 40 people alive. You are worth, on paper, something north of $60 million. You don't think about the money very often. What you think about is the map. You have, over years of this work, constructed in your mind a living, breathing map of how influence actually moves through the world, not through governments, not through markets, but through the invisible relationships and obligations that connect the people who actually make decisions. You can see it. You can read it. You can, with precision and patience, adjust it. This is rare, possibly unique, and it makes you dangerous to the organization in a way Level 6 never was. You know this. You say nothing about it. You begin quietly keeping your own records. Level 8. The architect. There is no ceremony. One afternoon, an older man you have known for 4 years, a man who is, as far as you understand, one of the 3 or 4 people at the true operational center of what Ashford actually is, invites you to his office. Not the Midtown office, his actual office, in a building that doesn't carry Ashford's name, on a floor accessible only by a keyed elevator. He pours 2 glasses of water. He tells you that several people at the dinner table have agreed that you should be given a seat at the coordination layer. He does not explain what this means in detail. He doesn't need to. You have been watching this layer from below for years. You know what it is. It is the place where the decisions that shape the decisions are made, where the broad parameters of what is possible, politically, economically, institutionally, are set by people whose names never appear in the history that results. You accept. He nods. He says there are no further levels. You drive home on a Tuesday evening through streets that look exactly as they always have. The same traffic, the same buildings, the same city. Everything is different. You have access now to things that most governments do not. You understand the real capitalization structure of 3 central banks. You know the terms of 2 secret bilateral agreements that will shape trade policy for a decade. You know which of the 7 largest asset managers on Earth are coordinating on a private monetary framework that has no democratic mandate and no public acknowledgement. You know because you helped design parts of it. The power is total. The freedom is gone. You do not attend the quarterly dinners anymore. You are above them. When you need to communicate with someone at that level, it happens in person, one-on-one, in rooms with no recording capability and no documentation. You have no close friends. You have no partner who knows what you actually do. You have a life that looks, from outside, like a quietly successful person who consults for financial institutions. At night, in a study lined with materials that no one else will ever read, you review position summaries, political exposure maps, and the long arc consequences of decisions made 3 years ago that are only now becoming visible. You are never surprised. This is the cost of knowing everything. There is nothing left to discover, no higher level, no revelation waiting, just the work and the quiet weight of understanding systems too large to escape and too embedded to destroy. You made this. You are this. The city moves below your window without knowing you exist. That was always the point. Somewhere in the financial district, a young analyst is opening an envelope with no return address. His name is typed, not handwritten. Inside, a single index card, a phone number, 2 words. He's sharp, ambitious. He has the kind of hunger that systems like this are designed to identify and absorb. He thinks the number is an opportunity. He thinks he is being chosen. He doesn't understand what that means yet. He will. They always do.